6 cells arranged in a ring. 2 of them are marked, and the 2 marks sit side by side. You are dropped onto the ring at random, every cell equally likely, and the cell you land on turns out to be blank. Now the ring is going to advance by 1 cell, and whatever sits immediately after you is what you get. Before it moves, you get one choice. You can take the step from where you are. Or you can spin the ring first, which forgets where you were and drops you somewhere uniformly at random, and then take the step. Which of those two is safer? Most people answer that in about 2 seconds, and most people answer it wrong. Here is what almost everyone says, and it deserves saying properly because it is not a careless answer. The cell you landed on was blank, and a blank cell is just a blank cell. It does not tell you where the marks are. Nothing about the ring has changed. So both moves face the same picture. 6 cells, 2 of them marked. 2 in 6 either way, which is 1 in 3. The 2 options are identical, so it makes no difference which one you pick. Now every number in that is correct. 2 out of 6 really is 1 in 3, and I am not going to cross out a single digit of it. What gets crossed out is the sentence sitting above the arithmetic. The blank did tell you something. It told you where you are not. So let us be exact about what we actually know, because from here on, this problem is pure bookkeeping. Number the cells 1 to 6 around the ring. The marks are on cell 1 and cell 2, sitting next to each other, and that detail will end up carrying the whole answer. The landing was uniform. Before you looked down, each of the 6 cells was equally likely, so there were 6 equally likely stories about where you were standing. The step itself is not random at all. From cell 3, you go to cell 4. From cell 6, you go round to cell 1. Every cell has exactly 1 cell after it, and it is always the same one. The spin is the opposite of that. It forgets where you were and puts all 6 cells back on the table with the same weight. So one move walks you along a fixed cycle, the other throws your position away and starts again. This problem has a shape. Once you have seen it, you start spotting the same shape everywhere, a piece of evidence that looks like nothing, quietly deleting half the possibilities. Screens are full of it. I have coached hundreds of people through these rounds, and for some of them, it ended in the job they were aiming at, north of $500,000 a year. The ones who got there stopped grinding random problems and started collecting shapes. The Quant interview playbook is where I put the shapes. 281 worked exercises, each one modeled before it is solved. Link is in the description. Now, back to that blank cell. Go back to those 6 equally likely stories. In 2 of them, you were standing on a mark, and you know those 2 did not happen because the cell you landed on was blank. So cross them out. 4 stories left. Nothing has happened to make any one of the 4 more likely than the others, so they stay equally likely, a quarter each. Notice what that quietly did to the question. From here on, every probability in this video is a probability given that the cell you are standing on is blank. The ring has not changed, the list of things that could still be true has. And that move has a name. It is called a conditional probability, and it is the whole subject of this problem. Written down, it looks like this. P, open bracket, marked next, then a vertical bar, then blank now, close bracket. The P in front means the probability that. The bar in the middle is read out loud as given that. So the whole line says the probability that the next cell is marked, given that the cell you are standing on now is blank. 6 candidates became 4. That is the entire move, and it is enough to change the answer. So, 4 cells you could be standing on. cell 3, cell 4, cell 5, cell 6. Take them one at a time and ask what a single step does. From cell 3, you step onto cell 4, which is blank. From cell 4 onto cell 5, blank. From cell 5 onto cell 6, blank. From cell 6, you step onto cell 1, and cell 1 is marked. 1 out of the 4, and that is not an accident of where I happen to draw the marks. The two marks are touching, so together they have exactly one cell sitting immediately in front of them, the cell just before the first mark. So stepping lands on a mark 1 time in 4. Spinning lands on a mark 2 times in 6, which is 1 in 3, because a step taken from a uniformly random cell arrives at a uniformly random cell. 1 in 4 against 1 in 3. They were never equal. The gap is 1 in 12, and it points at the step. Take the step. Never spin. It is worth seeing how much of that answer rests on a single word. The marks were next to each other. Move one of them, keep every other thing identical, and watch what happens. Put the marks on cell 1 and cell 3 instead, with a blank sitting between them. You land on a blank again, and 4 cells survive again: 2, 4, 5, and 6. But now 2 of those 4 step onto a mark. Cell 6 steps onto cell 1, and cell 2 steps onto cell 3. 2 out of 4 is 1 in 2, and 1 in 2 is worse than 1 in 3. There, spinning is the better move. Same 6 cells, same blank, same everything except which 2 cells carry the marks. That is how much work the word touching was doing, and it is the sentence a hurried reader drops. The general version is short if you want it. Call the number of cells n with the 2 marks still next to each other. A blank leaves n-2 candidates, and still exactly 1 dangerous step, so stepping is 1 over n-2, while spinning is 2 over n. Stepping wins for every ring longer than 4 cells. At exactly 4 they tie, and below 4, spinning is the better move again. One last thing, because it is the habit underneath the answer rather than the answer itself. The blank was not nothing. It was an observation that could have come out the other way, and did not. And anything like that kills possibilities. 2 of the 6 stories died the moment you looked down. Spinning throws that away. You had 4 candidates instead of 6, and a spin hands the 2 dead ones back. And that is what a desk is watching for here. Not whether you can divide 2 by 6, whether you say out loud that the set of things which could still be true just got smaller. Which is the part almost nobody rehearses. I have spent more than 15 years recruiting in finance, on the side of the table where the decision actually gets made. And the people who convert are rarely the ones who knew the most. They are the ones who had a plan for the weeks before the screen, and who knew what each of those weeks was for. That plan is in the Quant interview playbook. 8 weeks or 12 weeks, written out day by day, pointing at 411 pages of drills, track depth, annotated mock interviews, and desk one-pagers. You run the one that fits the time you actually have, not the time you wish you had. Link is in the description. Open the plan that matches your calendar and start tomorrow morning. 6 cells, 1 blank. Take the step.